Previously on the Novympia channel.
Gotta get on down to an M&S. Gotta get myself a meal deal.
And coming up,
Samples, urine samples.
I find you very rude. The Novympia channel is made possible by our gorgeous patrons who get access to the most unappealing crap you'll find anywhere on the whole internet.
Cue the snafu! Good evening, and welcome to Croatia. Nova, it's Croatia. You do embarrass yourself in these video treats.
Croatia.
We are your girls, Nova and Olympia. What? Coming
Hi.
to you dressed like ladies for a change. What?
Yeah, we've only done this a few times, but like
you don't
the
mind.
stars have aligned and we are here today to react to Croatia's Eurovision entry.
2024. Oh, I thought you'd say the year. People aren't sure. It's a lot going on at the moment.
I think people know because it's like in the title. And...
reminding.
Okay,
Croatia. Now let's talk about this because Croatia is a country that I don't apologise for it. I never look for it at Eurovision at all.
Oh.
I mean, this is no slight on the great nation of Croatia. I said this once before. I've never liked a Croatian entry ever. And the number of messages
To be fair, I can't think of one.
from angry people being like, but how about this artist? You must like this artist. I'm not saying I don't like any music out of Croatia. I'm just talking about Eurovision entries. I've never liked them. Until now.
We watched this national final, didn't we?
We watched it, yes. There was a lot of, nice stuff in there, but just was not going to make any waves at Eurovision at all. And Croatia are in a bit of a slump. So Croatia have been in it for like 30 odd years. The first half of their tenure at Eurovision, they were stellar. They were in the top 10 so many times, it's absurd. The latter half is the opposite. They haven't qualified many times at all. And it's just one of those countries that you really want to root for. And I'm ecstatic about this. So the artist they've selected this year is Baby Lasagna.
Yes, who won by an absolute landslide.
Let's talk about Let's talk about Mississippi mudslide, Nova, by the way.
Oh, not that.
Do you remember a Mississippi mud pie? We'll talk.
What's happening now?
And the song is
Beat
called
me up.
Rim Tim Tagi Dim.
Yes.
We're going to watch this now. You ready to watch it?
Yes.
Excited. And then we'll obviously break it down on the far end. Okay, settle in. Have you got a beverage?
Mm-hmm.
Me neither. Oh, you've got one. Oh, okay. Right, there's no easing into this. Just get the job done.
An assault straight away. Here he is,
Here
Baby
he comes.
Lasagna.
I think he's so attractive. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
I do as well. This
Lovely
styling,
outfit.
excellent.
I love his pants. The giant sleeves are inspired. And it's great that you've got kind of the backing performers with elements of his outfit on.
Yeah.
So you can tell that this is kind of, it pays reverence to Croatian culture in the garment.
I love the graphics. The like neon animals are so cool.
Oh, do you know though, this is another party song. There will be a conversation that we have.
Like these dancers.
The dancing is great.
Casual in the background.
There will be
and then
a
we have like
conversation
traditional dancing.
That we have about Karia's influence on artists this year at the other side of it.
Wow.
But there's a lot in this vibe and this mood now we've got.
It's so colourful. I love the colours. But then it's cohesive still because there's black and whites that tie everything together.
There is still a restraint to it. It's not just a mess. All the outfits are different, but it's cohesive, like you said. I could do without his name on the guy's pants.
City boys.
I find the Baby Lasagna on his pants really distracting. I do, however, go weak at the knees for when he says shitty boys. I love that.
I also love that
Meow
lyric.
cat.
Meow cat, please meow back.
This is so accessible. I think everyone is going to get into this. In the arena in Malmö, people are going to lose their shit when this comes on.
And for someone who is not very experienced with televised performances, I think this time around, the semi-final, he looked a bit nervous. Here, he doesn't look nervous at all. He looks very comfortable and very confident. This bit's great.
There is such a party atmosphere being served up here.
This techno bit coming in.
I didn't even consider that we're supposed to be sort of analysing his vocal. It didn't even come into my mind because it is so well done, in my opinion. There's no worries about that.
Well, the song is safely within his range. It's not like
perfect.
a difficult song to sing.
It doesn't have to be. If Slimane came out and it was a bit shaky, you'd notice. Luckily for Baby Lasagna, this kind of song, you can get away with it just being
We
a
have
little
pyro at the end.
Oh, I'm excited about this. Do you know I'm smiling though? Have you seen?
And we've got the neon cats.
Unusual amount of cats this year. It's a jam. I'm sorry. Get into it. Oh, you
Yeah,
don't even
it's super
know.
fun.
No,
It's
you don't
super,
even
super
know.
fun.
I will say I'm not very happy with the amount of cats this year.
What?
Cat songs, cat visuals.
So, Baby Lasagna, I follow him on Instagram now. He's a cat dad. He has cats.
Well, that's creepy. What are you doing that for?
What do you mean, what am I doing that
Follow
for?
on Instagram, creepy bitch.
I want to address the haters of this song before we delve into analysing it and why we like it so much. There's been two pieces of criticism I've seen put against this on social media consistently, and the first of which is the sample that Rim Tim Tagi Dim was built around has been found. And I feel like people don't understand what samples are or how they are used. And people have been saying, oh, this is not an original song, it's a copy, it's plagiarized. So there are catalogs available to producers and artists full of samples that you can purchase to use in your own music. This has been going on for decades and decades. This is not the only song in Eurovision that has done this. Plenty of them have done. I'm not really sure why this has been found so easily or so quickly, but basically it means nothing. You own the copyright to it when you purchase the rights to it, so it's fine. It's not plagiarized. Lots of producers do this.
Samples, urine samples.
Ew.
Who cares? Honestly, I find that a really embarrassing, because you're just showing yourself up a little bit by saying that.
The second thing is the Caria comparisons.
It was going to happen though, wasn't it?
I think it would be daft of us to ignore the comparisons, but I think some of them are a bit extreme and a bit unfair.
Well, first of all, Kari didn't invent sleeves, so let's just...
Yeah, he doesn't own
that out to
green
pasture.
lighting either.
Oh, is that what people are saying?
Yeah.
When we were watching that and I was talking about it's like a Caria effect, what I meant by that is that obviously the previous year, people really look at that and sometimes base the previous kind of heavy hitters from the last year on what they're maybe going to send, what they're not going to send the following year. So knowing that people were really in the mood for something which has this vibe and the party and the crazy and get up and shout and jump. So we've got this, we've got Finland, we've got Estonia. Is there anything else? I feel like I'm missing one. It was going to happen. It's going to happen. And
These sleeves are based on traditional Croatian clothing. You can see it reflected in some of the dances. I've seen a side-by-side comparison of the direct inspiration for this outfit, and it's very, very smart actually. It's not inspired by Caria, and I don't even think it remotely really looks the same. It's just puffy sleeves, like they're different places, they're different fabric, they're different shapes. Like, can we just calm down
and
with
also,
that?
he commented on something and he was like, well, it's the same vibe, but it's not the same. So
They both have similar musical influences, so they're going to be producing music that has a similar genre, but this is its own thing altogether. I've looked at the lyrics of this song. This song is a tongue-in-cheek presentation telling a story about I think it's probably autobiographical, about a person leaving like the country, leaving a small town for the big city.
Yep, tale as
And
old as time.
I think that's a really nice, easy story that a lot of people can relate to.
Very accessible.
Yeah.
All age groups, I think, can sort of get into this. I mean, where do we go with this? It's entered into the conversation of the winner's circle, top 10. I think it'd be daft to think of this falling outside of the top 10. Maybe not far from it, but do you think?
I think if anything, the Caria comparisons are going to help this, because Caria came second last year and a lot of people were really annoyed that he didn't win, and I feel like they're going to be voting for this on principle. I think it's only going to help him.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are going to see this as like a second chance for their fave to win, and they're going to really back this.
The only thing I think we have to talk about now, though, is that because there is so much upbeat shit in the running, there's also a fair amount of there's a few rock songs in there. Countries like Estonia and Finland and Croatia are now going to be vying for the same kind of televoters, whereas someone coming in with something a little bit softer, a little bit different that could have been lovely there if you kept it.
Just keep wobbling the mics.
Well, put your hand back, come on. That's lovely.
More still.
That's lovely. Well, now I can't remember my point now that you've ruined it. Yeah, maybe something a little bit more, I don't know, understated stands a chance. And they'll cannibalise each other, I don't know. But I do think this is going to have televoters out in their droves. Oh, what? Get into it.
I adore the presentation to this. I think this doesn't need a lot of work to be transferred to Malmö. Maybe we could get like a set piece or something. That would be really cool. But the graphics are really cool. I don't see them changing. He's probably going to be using the same graphics on the LED screens for all the pre-parties, and I don't mind it. The costume is really cool. I wouldn't really change anything about that either. Again, I don't mind elevating it a bit for Malmö, or just keep it the same. I don't mind. You don't like the self-branding on the dancers with the name on there. That does not bother me at all.
I find that distracting, and it kind of looks, to me, it looks like they've done it. Well, I mean, they might well have done. This is the problem with all of these national finals, is like, it's, you know, you take it and you sort of like think about how you can translate it over. I just don't like those pants because it looks very GCSE. Someone's done it in their garage.
What's wrong with what's wrong with it? What's wrong with that? I don't understand what's wrong with that.
Oh, Nova, you would say that. Oh no, I can't.
It's just graffiti.
Yeah, but you can't explain taste, Nova, can you?
Fashion can be acquired by having fashion.
I just
You've
don't.
either got it or you don't.
I don't think you're understanding the concept of it at all.
What concept?
That it's like handmade, crafted.
I don't want that. I don't want handmade. Who wants handmade at Eurovision? I don't want that.
Right.
Handmade. Stop it. Okay, where have you put this in your... Because this is weirdly high for me. I don't know. I think that having Croatia in my top 10 is just very, very exciting, though. I'm excited.
I have this 7th.
So do I.
Do you?
Stop it.
Oh.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Dunno.
Making love?
Yeah, I have this 7th. I have this in my top 10. I imagine it'll probably remain in my top 10. There are still a few songs left, and like I said in our last reaction video, my top 10 is moving about all over the place with every new release. But I imagine it will stay there.
It's a law of odds. I think at this point we have to have some shitters. I think you're going to put Austria higher than that. That's one that's going to do that. You're going to put the UK higher than that.
I don't know.
I think that it might end up sliding out. But the point is, it's a strong year, and who the hell knows? We've got a real uphill battle ahead of us, Nova.
We haven't spoken about how this song was actually an alternate for the national final, and it was only because an artist fell ill and withdrew from the national final that Baby Lasagna got a chance to compete. This has been covered extensively in Croatian media, and I think the broadcaster is really going to get a bollocking for this.
Why?
Because I imagine this is going to do very well at Eurovision. And if it was down to the broadcaster, it would never have even been selected.
No, well, sometimes countries do get embarrassed by their entries. But
the local media that I've seen, the articles that have been written, are not happy.
Thank God that other lady had the runs, or whatever it is. I heard that. Listen, why don't you consider subscribing, or just consider it? You could consider it. You don't have to click it, but you should consider it and then click it.
Nah, you should subscribe.
Subscribe to our channel. If you like this experience.
That's a threat.
I'm going to have to get a frosty beverage, though, because I'm quite warm. And a lot of what I just said, I can't remember what I said, if any of it was sensical. Did any of what I said come out right?
No.
Probably not.
Doesn't usually.
We also have a Patreon, for which there will be exclusive garbage over there, including that's where we park our semi-final prediction videos. Oh, and there's the Discord.
There is the Discord with the Eurovision channel, which is very active.
Yeah, channel, not server. You really embarrassed yourself when you said that the other day. And the address for that will be arriving on screen just now.
It's really difficult to say, you know.
What you gonna do with all that ash?
No, he says I'm the one that built the tower. Oh, and also that's it now. Well, we have Twitch as well for Games Night, which we're currently not doing because we're filming this really late.
Yeah.
So come to
probably cancelled that on the schedule.
To Twitch, and we might not even be there. And that's where we're going to leave this now. And goodbye in Croatian.
Do viđenja. And dobrodošli to our newest patrons, Robert WM and Floppiana Thomas.
I just opened my mouth to put it in.
I don't know why you must do this to us. Like, you just don't help yourself ever, do you? What are you wearing?
Join the Patron, we'll do a shot of Patron.